Hello and welcome to the Lagg Spike Podcast. I am your host, Mike Chalice. With me this week, we have the man with the beard, Matt Bird.
What's up?
And Mr. Gloom and Doom himself, Mr. Sam Landry.
Yes.
Don't sound so enthused. So normally we start off the week by going over what we've been playing, but because I know that all we've been playing this week is Destiny, we're going to talk about that. How are we doing progress-wise? Any different feelings about the game so far, or
I'm finally starting to get geared up, which is nice. It's a nice feeling. It's a lot of grinding involved.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to balance with, full-time work and stuff like that because you get on and you get a couple hours a night.
Sleep is for the weak.
Well, sleep is for the weak or for people who, actually work.
And don't want to be doom and gloom.
You guys love me, you know it.
In a really odd way, maybe. Matt, what have you been thinking about the game? I know you were hesitant initially, so.
Well, level 24 now.
Yeah, you are.
No real gear, some rares, but no legendaries. And I'm hating the Crucible because I keep playing games and everybody
at it.
I do suck at the Crucible.
Oh, that's something you did not tell me. Interesting.
Interesting.
But everybody getting legendary drops on the team, and I'm like, everyone's... Oh no.
I shit you not. We were doing Crucible, and we had a full team from the Gaming Lag clan, and everybody got 2 or 3 items, and he was the only one to get nothing. Yes, it's a randomly generated loot system, but man, that is a big middle finger to Matt.
You know what's funny?
Hilarious.
It wasn't even bottom of the team.
You know what's funny? If I would have been there, it would have been me who got nothing and you who got like 3 items.
You guys are just complaining. I've been loving the Crucible.
That's
mainly because I'm a magician with a shotgun, and I do not care if people think it's cheap. I will slide shotgun you to the face any time of the week. It is the most satisfying thing to do.
I love using the defender class, and you see someone's rocket coming because it doesn't have the velocity like it should.
Overpowered
pop
bubble.
that bubble, it disappears. Then you just peek out, throw your sticky grenade. 2 explosions.
It actually
they're
reminds
dead.
me of World of Warcraft with the old school paladins, where you would just pop your divine shield, which made you immune, and you would like hearth teleport out back to the inn, and you would just dance while you were doing it because they couldn't do anything to you.
I love capping a point with the bubble and dancing, and then they know if they come in, depending on whatever buff you have, they're screwed no matter what.
Yeah.
So everyone's afraid of the bubble. I'm not. I just go in there and
I go in the bubble
them.
too. I blade dance the shit out of them.
Mike looks using rocket launchers apparently.
Yes.
Didn't end well for you, did it?
No, it didn't. No, I'm really liking the game. I do like the single player content. Still some major flaws, but it's so addicting. I don't understand. No matter what flaw I find about the game, the story's kind of annoying, and I have to go read these grimoire cards if like on Bungie's website if I want to find out about any lore about the game.
You can do it right on the app.
Yeah, I know that, but you still have to go outside the game to get it instead of finding it in game. All I would be asking for is like a little piece of paper or something you find, or holographic thing that tells you some information. But every time I find a flaw, I still find myself playing 3 hours after I start complaining about it.
It's because I've figured out that now that Bungie and Sony have done something interesting is in the controllers now, there's a little prick that comes out and it pumps heroin into your veins as you play, and so you just keep wanting to get more, right?
It's like Chase the Dragon.
The only thing that
Heroin
makes sense.
Hero for PS4. Oh man, it is unbelievably addicting. It's not very fun if you're by yourself, but we've been running with our Gaming Lag clan, by the way. If anybody would like to join us, please feel free. We are playing on PS4 exclusively for that game. Our clan is up on Bungie.net. We'll accept anybody. We're definitely not professional by any means. We're working on getting ready for that raid, which I should bring up. That first raid opened up.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm trying to go with this, and I have apparently failed English during this part of the week, is that Bungie has like every Tuesday they seem to have a new event coming. So this Tuesday even we have like some unique items we can get from these really tough missions and things like that.
Well, this last week they had killed them in Crucible. Then after that you have to go to their website with a screenshot of you victory against them, then you get a special emblem. Because this whole thing, like, it's
right,
like
but
the
I'm
process
talking
a
more
little
about
hard.
the in-game
but
stuff that they're supporting this game. I honestly believe that they shipped this game and have tons of content already done for this game. They're just trying to build a community because, like they said, they're going to try and support this game for the next 10 years. And I do think they can do it because any MMO, if you compare it to that, starts off with just a basic foundation. I remember playing World of Warcraft and things like that and getting to max level. There wasn't that much you could do after you were finished grinding. The biggest downfall, and sorry, I'll finish with this. The biggest downfall, I think, is that it does not take very long to finish the story and get to max level. Whereas in a game like World of Warcraft, it took me a month.
Yeah.
This took me like 4 days.
Yeah.
So
the thing I think I was talking to Matt about in the lunchroom at work one day or something like that, but it was the fact that their test server at the Bungie headquarters is easily probably 7 to 8 patches ahead of us of content. Just because they're trying to make sure everything works together when they add new content. So their test servers, they add a new patch that they've been working on for a couple of weeks. They make sure that they can get everything running smoothly. Because when you insert a new line of code into games and stuff like that, you create more bugs, more glitches. So you have it all polished, right? But for someone who, I'm going to say it right now, Bungie beat Lizard Squad. 30 minutes the servers were down when they were being DDoS'd. 30 minutes. That's what $500 million can do for you guys. Yeah. So
it's true. It's actually, let's talk about the launch, actually, because it was extremely successful. No issues.
Nope.
I think I only failed to log in like 1 or 2 times on the midnight launch, and then I was in. That's got to be... That's
smoothest
unbelievably
launch.
impressive.
Especially,
because there has never been any launch,
like
Activision included. Any games that they publish, like from Blizzard and stuff, have never been that smooth. It was awesome. It was a great experience, and it's also incredibly nice for gamers when you've been waiting for a long time for a game and then don't have to spend 3 days battling through bugs. I can't tell you how awful the Final Fantasy XIV relaunch was. You couldn't even get past one of the quests in the game, and it was one of like the first quests.
We got a free week out of it.
Hooray. I also lost a week, so they basically just evened it up.
It did, at least that. Some companies
It's
wouldn't
not
even have
about
done
that, though. Everybody knows it's the race to the max level.
I know.
Anything else to add on this, Matt? I know you had mentioned your hatred for Crucible, but are you liking the PvE content, things like that?
Really liking the PvE. Guy, I'm one of the people in our clan. We actually were exploring Cosmodrome last night, and there's a couple of sections that if you go, it's a dead-end wall, and it actually has the name of a new place. And there was one place that we went, never been there before last night, and you can actually see in the distance through this window that it must be a door that's going to open. And it was actually coming up on the radar that there was enemies behind that door, but couldn't get through the door.
Interesting. Like I said, I think there's a ton of content and things like that. Those are going to be little events that they'll have, which is good. It keeps people going. I'm excited this week. We have like the Queen's Wrath or something like that, where she calls in her favor from the story missions. Sorry, spoilers, I guess. And so we're going to be doing special missions, which will give you unique items.
I know that
I think this game has an unbelievable amount of potential to be one of the biggest games in the world, as long as Bungie doesn't do what most traditional, I guess you compare it to an MMO, but most traditional games do, and wait way too long for DLC. Watch Dogs is getting their DLC finally, and it's been months and months and months. We're already talking about all this content we haven't done yet for little events, and then the first expansion for this game is December. So if they keep that up, they're going to keep... This will be a game that I go back to very, very often, with a minor break for Alien Isolation, because that's my most excited for game this year. But I think we're going to leave it at that, and we're going to be right back in a second with some news. There's a few things from TGS we'd like to talk about, and we'll see you in a second. And welcome back. We got a little bit of news to get through this week, mainly at a TGS, which has, I think, been unanimously talked about as a little bit disappointing. We did get some good stuff, but definitely not what everybody was hoping for. So So we'll start off, I guess, with the Sony press conference, which I almost stayed up to try and watch, where it was going to be 3:30 here, but really just couldn't. Had work all week. Thank God I didn't, because I watched it after the fact, and it was pretty disappointing. It was more like a keynote speech than anything else, which I don't need necessarily flashy stuff to make it exciting for me, but I would like some decent announcements. Did either of you watch that at all after the fact, or no?
I just heard bad things about it, so
you just avoided it.
I just avoided it.
Yeah.
So
we did get a little bit of news of the game that I was really hoping for, which was Final Fantasy 15. A couple of things. One, the long-awaited Final Fantasy Type 0. I think it's an action RPG or something. Will come with a Final Fantasy 15 demo. Paired with that, we got a Final Fantasy 15 gameplay trailer, which is unbelievably beautiful.
Excited.
Oh my God, that game looks incredible. Obviously, Square has been doing this for a long time, making things very pretty. This is beyond anything, though. I've never seen a game that pretty. The combat system looks interesting. They're changing it up again. But it looks a little bit faster. It looks a little bit like 12, which has me a little bit concerned because I wasn't a big fan of Final Fantasy 12's combat system, but it looks a little bit faster and a little bit easier to use, because in 12 all I did was throw freaking potions at my teammates because I could never keep up with it. Did either of you saw the trailer, right, Matt?
Oh yeah. That I'm hoping it's Adamant Toys in the background.
Yeah, that oh my God, that panning shot.
Oh, so beautiful.
So good. And apparently they drive really expensive Cadillac vehicles in the future. You haven't seen it yet?
Literally the only thing that I ever followed that's Final Fantasy is the MMO that I played. But that was
goodness,
it. I
man,
never
you have
played
to watch
anything else.
that demo. It's so good. It's so good.
Fine.
I will. The combat system to me actually looks kind of like Tales of Xillia after watching my girlfriend play that game.
Hack and slash?
Kind of.
Hack and slash or turn-based?
It does. It looks quite a bit faster. Like there's
turn-based? They hit you, you hit them.
It doesn't look turn-based in the least.
Sign me up.
It looked kind of like Dragon Age, the combat system.
Actually, it looked very much like Dragon Age.
Now I'm interested.
The new Dragon Age, not the... No, I guess
the
like Dragon Age 2, I guess, as well.
Dragon Age...
more so like the first one.
Dragon Age 1, Dragon Age
one,
Origins and Dragon Age 2 had similar combat system.
Okay.
The fact that Dragon Age 2 was more of like an AoE type area. You hit the enemy in this general area, you do damage to them. Where in
that's what this kind of
where
looks
Dragon
like.
Age Origins was more on focus this enemy and hit them, and then you have certain attacks that do damage.
Obviously,
to the
I
area,
think this
so
is pretty early into the game. I think it's a little bit. There's a lack of female characters for sure because it looks like it's all guys in a car.
Yeah.
There was a hint, a small mention of a female character. So, but then if you look at the the cut picture of all the characters from Final Fantasy, there's like 20 of them and half of them are girls. So hopefully.
Do you remember at work, I think it was around winter or Christmas last year, we had a trailer of Final Fantasy 15 at the time.
That first thing.
Is that similar to that? Still looks the same?
It's the same character.
Because I remember that fight with Behemoth looked.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be brutally awesome to do.
Yeah,
to be honest.
but that was this gameplay trailer.
Just
looks
it ramped it up even higher
exactly,
than what it was.
Exactly. Cool. I've always been a Final Fantasy fan, and I think I've mentioned on the podcast before that I'm one of those few people that did really like Final Fantasy 13, but this game it completely destroys it. Please, Square, do not make a sequel to Final Fantasy 15. Just move on to 16. Good God. Please don't make sequels. I really don't like them.
16 could be the one where, they're trying to compete with Mario Kart. It's just chocobo races. That's all it is.
Stop talking. All right, and the last little bit of noteworthy news out of TGS, Bloodborne gets its Western release date, which has a ton of people excited. February 6th is when it's coming to the West. That has a lot of my friends excited. I've never played Dark Souls or Demon Souls or anything like that to a huge degree. I've dabbled in all of them, but they're not really my style. But this seems
most frustrating type of games to play in the face of the earth.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd argue with Super Meat Boy.
Can you?
That game drives me nuts.
Well, no, it's the fact that when you die or when you go to a save point, doesn't matter. All the enemies you just fought come right back.
Yeah, so it's just, well,
you spend 30 minutes getting to a
there's
boss,
a calling
and
for
you
that,
die
though,
at the
because
boss.
there's
you gotta
a-
go, you know.
there's a huge amount
Oh, I know.
of games that are so tailored to every audience.
Within 8 hours after Dark Souls 2 came out, there were already guides up on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, people had just started recording
There's a
them,
lot of
figuring
people
stuff
now,
out,
which,
like,
and I mean, we talk about it every week about how much we find out about games beforehand. People get early access to these games to play and review and stuff like that. God, that annoys me. I know the entire Smash Brothers lineup. I don't want to know that. I want to find out what ones I can unlock by playing it.
Oh, they already announced all those?
They leaked it like a month ago.
No.
That drives me mental because I don't want to know about that stuff. And it doesn't matter, even if I don't read it. I'm in the sort of work that allows me to hear about it or see it somewhere.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, so that's sort of notable about TGS, and as well, my favorite part of TGS, which was the official Silent Hill concept trailer. Holy yes. That game looks terrifyingly fantastic.
Whole bunch of no.
It's we made Matt play the PT trailer, and he didn't really like us for it.
I'm going to play the game.
But oh my god, that trailer looks so good.
You can play it, and I'll witness it with you, but I never want to play that game. I don't want to be behind the control of that because I think that's even scarier than just watching it like a movie.
Oh, it definitely is. Outlast didn't have near as much of a budget as this game is going to get, and Outlast scared me. So.
And we played like maybe 2% of what the final product's going to be when just
the survival horror is making a huge comeback. Like, everybody wants those atmospheric games, right? I played Outlast in a thunderstorm at night one of those nights when I was almost done the game, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, at the time my fiance came out because she had been sleeping already, and it like 2 drops of pee came out because I saw her come around the corner of the hallway. Scared the bejesus out of me. And I'm going to be playing Alien Isolation in a couple of weeks, and I will make sure I play it in the dark. Unfortunately, I found out I'm going to be away on work when it comes out, so my PlayStation 4 will be making the journey with me to make sure I can play it. But that trailer, if anybody hasn't seen it, please go see it. Watch it on YouTube or wherever you can find it. It is sort of a testament to how creepy even a trailer can be without using, jumpiness and stuff like that, because there wasn't anything really that jumpy about the trailer. It was
it's just
creepy and terrifying.
Like the ball at the beginning.
Yes, when chills.
And that
chills.
weird,
another thing I haven't seen, so.
Yeah.
you need to watch it.
Yeah.
And the arm and the hallway, like the giant.
It's just sounding like a whole bunch of nope already.
Oh man, I don't even know what that is, but I don't want to meet it. No.
And then the door. Then the door's going, and
actually,
and then you don't know, do I go a whole bunch of nope this way or a whole bunch of nope behind me?
Dark cellar or creepy giant hand thing crawling towards me.
Actually, just on a note, because we're talking about Silent Hills, there's an island somewhere, and I read this up on the news on my phone, where it was a really gloomy night. This was like 2 a.m. Fog was rolling in and all this.
I saw those pictures. It was so funny.
Dressed up as the Pyramid Head guy, just standing in the middle of the street for like 3 hours. And literally, like, this guy saw this front move in, and he's hitting this cosplayer guy, and he's like, "My time has come." Just puts it on, walks outside, just stands in the middle of the street with a pyramid head and a giant sword. Cool. I'm surprised the cops didn't show up, to be honest.
No kidding. Or somebody didn't take him out from the windows or something.
But I thought that was pretty neat.
Good grief. Moving on to a little bit of Destiny news. Destiny released its first raid this past Tuesday called the Vault of Glass. It was beaten 14 hours after it was released, after 1,605 deaths, which is, as a collective group of 6, that is an unbelievable amount. People have sort of got the strategies down pat now.
Quickest clear time, 46 minutes and 30 seconds, if I remember correctly. So that was a couple days ago. But apparently
it is like incredibly challenging to do it.
First couple times from what I was when I was skimming through the video, they're like, until you figure out what you need to do in certain parts, obviously just any game, it's really tough. But then when you got the strategy down, strategy, whatever, down pat, it's just good to go. Some guy killed the boss with a post-mortem kill.
Nice.
Threw a grenade and they killed him, and then that. But the sweet thing is, the raid is, it's just like heroic weekly missions. You can only be revived by a teammate.
Yeah.
And in the raid, I found this out. Matt, you die. I can't revive you for 30 seconds. Then you be able to unlock to revive.
Oh, good grief.
So it's going to be...
We're working our way towards playing it. Unfortunately, working full-time makes it a little bit difficult to plow through this content and get to like 27 or 28 before
if
we
we're
try
all
it.
27, 28 with decent gear, it's going to be pretty...
Like I said, though,
simple.
it's just challenging to balance that. And we've been putting a lot of time in, considering the fact we work 10 hours a day. Keeping with Destiny... It is the best-selling new franchise of all time. $325 million in sales revenue in the first 5 days. Interestingly enough, they're not mentioning how many copies. I'm wondering if they're refraining from that, because Watch Dogs was also hugely successful earlier on in the year. So
think about it, and I think the reason they're holding back number of copies because of numbers. One, Destiny is $10 more than what GTA 5 was at the time. GTA 5 was $59.99. Destiny is now $69.99. So that could be a reason why they're not divulging copies, because they gotta sell 10 more copies than GTA 5 does to make the same amount of numbers. In a sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
I think they're doing it because. Well, we'll see. Time will tell. Maybe they know they've already beaten the number.
Oh.
From the amount of people that I saw at midnight launches and stuff,
and
there's no way they didn't sell more.
And what I heard about the other
no
said store that had a midnight launch, it was triple what we had.
Yeah.
At that store. So.
Yes, exactly. So I think they're probably just holding it back. Maybe they're trying not to be like, we're amazing and this is how many items.
Well, what did you say?
sold.
$325
million in revenue sales
after their $500 million they made.
No. That's not profit. That's just in the first 5 days they've sold $325 million worth of product. Moving away from Destiny, we mentioned a rumor last week, and they of course confirmed it on the Monday that we mentioned. Mojang has been bought by Microsoft. So Minecraft is now Microsoft owned. How do we feel about that?
So I'm expecting that now all the hints, when they pop up, they'll have a little paperclip beside them.
I see you're trying to.
I see you're trying to do this. Why don't you click me? There's no mouse. It's a console.
Thank you, Reddit, for the awesome idea.
That's awesome.
That's not my original one.
They have said that like the PlayStation Vita version of Minecraft is still going to come out,
which is
and
good.
All that stuff. My thing is that if they do make Minecraft 2, let's say, will it be an Xbox exclusive? There's so much they can do with this. They could have. What if every? Ooh, I just chin nudged the microphone. All right. What if they, with every Microsoft console they sold, Minecraft free, and then start putting microtransactions in for better skinned, like better texture?
That already exists on the Xbox 360 and PS3 platforms.
Yeah. I'm not a Minecraft player, so
the only platform that doesn't exist on is PC, and I can see that easily changing now.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think it's realistic because they'd have to shut down so many websites.
They're trying to
shut down all the skin websites, like the skin decks.
Oh,
and all
I
those
don't know
things
about
on the
that.
PC.
I know that there's you can do private servers or something in them, and you pay a company monthly for a private server.
They're shutting those down probably.
They're working on, like, if they, well, I don't know if they're working on it, but their smartest move is to create their own server farm and just make people pay them.
Yeah. Okay. Have you heard what the prices are for those server farms? They're like $8 to $15 a month for a server. Make yours about $6. People are going to migrate over to that, and you're going to make twice as much money.
And you're supported by the official company who owns it.
Exactly.
And Microsoft's a little bit bigger than some of these smaller companies providing servers.
So in that standpoint, but that's interesting. I didn't think about the server standpoint. That's crazy.
I know they don't want anybody else making money off of their game.
No,
and the people that were in charge of Minecraft before really, I think, were a little bit overwhelmed with the success of it.
Well, did you hear about Notch shutting down a guy who made a Kickstarter to make a Minecraft movie?
Right.
And he had raised $650 million for it. Or no, $650,000. And he was like, Notch was like, yeah, after 600,000, man, we can't allow you to do this, blah, blah, blah. And then like the lawsuits and all this stuff came in. And it sucks because this guy had a lot of talent because he made a trailer before he funded this.
Of course,
and it looked awesome. But
it's their baby.
In his respect,
that's like me making a recipe that would sell millions of
exactly.
something.
In Notch's defense, the guy never approached Notch ahead of time to ask for that. If he would have done, I'm sure he would have backed him up and showed them this idea. You show him this and see, this is what I can do.
And hey, from the
by
profits
myself.
from this movie, you get this so and such percentage, right?
You get.
So I mean, Notch released like a comment saying that it's not about the money, it's more about his sanity and stuff.
Which I don't blame him. Like if he wants,
I get it. Like if you're an indie game developer, typically you're just trying to make ends meet and make games that you really love. $2.5 billion split 3 ways. That works out to a crap load of money. So I don't think he's going to have to worry about funding for his games in the future.
Enough for Bugatti Veyron, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Because he's totally getting one of those.
Yeah, I doubt it. Oh, man. Next set of news, and I only wanted to mention this because I'm actually a big fan of Hearthstone, but Hearthstone tops 20 million players worldwide. That is one of the most widely played or at least downloaded games out right now, and it is such a simple game. It is amazing to see a small group, even though they were in a large corporation like Blizzard, a small group, I think it was like a team of like 4 or 6 or something that made this game initially.
It was under 12.
It was, well, they have more now,
yeah,
obviously.
But I heard rumors when they first came out it was 12. Other places saying no, it was 4 guys, 6 guys.
Yeah, well, and it doesn't matter. It's a small team that made this game. And
under what it normally takes.
Right, exactly. And they probably spent no money on this game, and they have made... all their money back, I'm sure, by now.
It's literally just this guy who went to his boss, say, hey, me and a couple of the coworkers who were talking about this idea we had, here it is, put microtransaction in that at some point.
Yeah,
you're
and it's
good to
not
go.
A pay-to-win game either, which is nice, even though a lot of people seem to think that. It's not. When you pay money for cards, you get cards, but you don't necessarily get good cards. I guess, yeah, in the crafting system in the game, you can, like, disenchant them and get dust, but that's beyond pay to win. That's like you'd have to put so much money into it, and the gold isn't that hard to come by anyway. To buy your own cards. Anyway, I'm able to beat people with like stacked legendary decks and stuff with normal cards as long as you play properly.
Unless you understand how to play.
Right, exactly. But anyway, I really like Hearthstone. I wanted to mention that it topped 20 million downloads or players, whatever the article that I was reading said. Yeah.
Cool.
Moving on. Matt. That's where you respond.
What?
Just don't look at, just talk.
Speak more, sir.
How would you like a pair of PS4 sneakers? What if I told you that you only had to pay $950 for it, but you get an HDMI port on it and a custom HDMI cord?
Shut up and take my money.
That's right. Now, also as an added bonus, the HDMI cable, or port, I guess, does nothing. Are you interested?
Sign me up.
All right.
I'll pay $50 extra just to round it up.
Just round it up. Here's $1,000. Go get yourself something nice. So there are a pair of Air Jordans that I was looking at pictures of, which I think are actually hideous. But they're PS4 custom Air Jordans. They cost $950. They have an HDMI port built into the sole.
Let me just check something out quickly here on YouTube. I'm sure someone's already bought them and made a review for them.
Yeah. The review is going to be, well, they're sneakers that have
I'm
the
not
PS4
joking. You
logo.
don't know the type of people who collect Jordan sneakers.
Oh,
it's
really?
Crazy. They're insane.
Okay.
They spend like hundreds of dollars
So
on a pair
there
of
is
sneakers.
actually a market
Oh,
for
yeah,
this.
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
not just... Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, I am not into... What are we talking about here?
You're not a sneaker connoisseur.
Yeah, okay. We'll go with that. I'm not into pop culture, I guess we'll say.
I wouldn't say no.
Air Jordans probably aren't part of pop culture.
I'd
No.
say they're a cult culture.
Yes. There we go. That's the right word.
Moving on again. What if I told you there was a new Metal Gear Solid collection coming out, Matt?
How about no? That was so disappointing.
Yes. The new Metal Gear Solid collection that Kojima was teasing was a clothing line. Thank the heavens.
So, if you want to know what someone who buys Air Jordan shoes looks like, this guy. So for anybody who can't see, obviously, it's literally just this geeky-looking guy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Like,
you're still hung up on the Air Jordans. I've moved on from that.
I
Sam.
know, but
I
I'm
know.
just saying.
Listen, you're using an Android phone, which is why it's taking so long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Funny.
And yes, I am an elitist Apple phone user, so...
Yeah.
Well, we do have a
yes.
lot of
So
Apple-
Metal Gear Solid collection that Kojima was teasing is a clothing line. Thank the heavens, because this is exactly what I was thinking. I don't have enough clothing that advertises that when I go home from work, I am a nerd.
I'm all right with wearing that. I
Don't
do that
you-
all the time.
Don't you have a "It Came from the Moon" shirt coming in the mail at some point?
Yes, but that doesn't matter. Nobody knows what that is. It's just a shirt. It says words on it. Only gamers will know that. I actually have no problem talking to my friends and stuff about me being a nerd and a gamer. It's more if you've seen pictures of this clothing line, it's really that I have the problem with. Yeah. Moving on. Sorry, what were you gonna say, Matt? You only say like 10 words.
So we might as well let me get them in
when
I want to say them.
Yeah. Moving on, Xbox has been delayed in China. Wonder if it has anything to do with Japan sales.
I'm gonna guess.
You would think that they'd have lots left over so that they wouldn't have to delay it.
No, Matt, you don't understand. They're all set to that region. They'd need to bring them back to change them over.
Oh, yeah, they're all...
I thought
that was awesome.
I thought both next gens were region free.
No.
So it's just PS4?
Neither.
I don't... anyway.
If
So
I got
China,
Torchwood from, like, Europe, it would not work on my console.
No, not movie region free, game region free.
Neither.
The
games still have a region.
I don't think it matters, but it's been delayed in China.
You're gonna Google
We
it now.
have gotten sort of the reputation that we're PlayStation fanboys. Please don't take that to heart. We are not. I love Xbox and Xbox games. I just am super confused what I would consider the poor job of trying to get games and stuff to their console. The only ones that I've even wanted to play have been available for PS4, and the reason I got the PS4 initially was because
all your friends.
All my friends, and because, all 5 of my friends, I guess, and because of the initial games that were announced. Now, Ori and the Blind Forest, Sunset Overdrive, Master Chief Collection, Halo 5, all games I'm going to be wanting to play, so I'm going to need one, obviously. And last bit of news this week, I only wanted to mention it because it's really nice to see some support for my game that I'm super excited about. Alien Isolation is getting 6 months of DLC. For its survivor mode, which is apparently the game's core. It's you against this alien trying to get out of a space, but you have a timer. So you can't just tiptoe around and hide in wherever you can hide in underneath 1980s computer monitors and stuff. Yeah, so it's nice to see the support. We mentioned last week that they had gone gold that far ahead of time is amazing. So yeah, super excited for it. I'm probably going to do a Twitch stream on that, actually. Not that we have a big amount of viewers, but I'm going to play it and get my initial reactions of playing the game in the dark, because that's how I play those games.
So,
and except for when a really scary part happens, then
I'm going to watch it.
We're watching it on the big screen.
Yeah.
This time. Cool.
And before we move on, we're going to start trying to streamline this a bit. We're going to talk about the games coming out to the consoles. Every Tuesday. So this Tuesday coming, on PlayStation 4, we have Disney Infinity 2.0, Marvel Superheroes.
Matt's excited about
Matt's
that
excited. And FIFA 15.
I don't actually want the game. I just want the characters.
PS3, we also have Disney Infinity 2.0, FIFA 15. I can't read my own writing, so Are No Surge, Ode to an Unborn Star, and Arcana Heart 3, Love Max. You have to say it really loud because there's an exclamation mark, and it's in capitals.
Love Max.
Love Max. No, it's Love Max. You have to say it that way.
All right.
They spelled it that way for a reason, Sam. Pay attention.
Jeez.
Xbox One, Killer Instinct Season 2, which I actually have a friend at work who's unbelievably excited about this. They're supposed to add some new characters and redesign some of the movements and stuff. Cool. Disney Infinity 2.0 again. FIFA 15 again. Xbox 360, we got Anna Extended Edition Carcade, apparently. Man, I suck at writing. Disney Infinity 2.0, imagine that. FIFA 15 and Slender, The Arrival Arcade only. That's what it means. Anna Extended Edition is only arcade. Not arcade, not Cascade.
You forgot the closing
yeah, that's the
parentheses.
God, I'm so stupid. Wii U, Hyrule Warriors, which is out on the 26th. There's been a little bit of a hype about that. It actually looks pretty fun. The demo is really fun. I just don't know if I'm going to have time to play it, to be honest with you, but it looks really good. And also Disney Infinity 2.0. There's a rolling trend here.
Oh, okay.
3DS, FIFA. And for the Vita, we got Frozen Synapses Prime, Arcana Heart 3, Love Max, and FIFA.
Isn't Infinity 2.0 also going 3DS, or is that not yet?
That's probably not yet.
It's no, I think Well, the article I was looking at, Matt, there was nothing there.
They also
sorry.
they also
You don't even
sold,
have
like,
a 3DS.
No, but
They
some people might want to
so-
know, and Disney Infinity 1.0
Listen, I'm
was
doing
on
this
3DS.
for you.
Yeah,
because
but they only
not
sold
for
one
anybody
copy.
else.
Okay.
They only sold one copy of 3DS, so why make this 2.0?
And that about does it for the news, unless anybody else in this room has something they want to add. Maybe a little bit of news. No?
Just the puppy dog eyes he's giving us here.
All right, we
great.
got through the whole news segment without firing anybody. This is fantastic. We'll be back in a second with our wrap-up, which will be a little bit different this week.
PS3 UI is still better.
See you in a second. Welcome back to the podcast. We're going to do our weekly wrap-up now, and we're going to try and change it a little bit. Every week in our weekly wrap-up, we're going to try and talk about an interesting topic that's sort of near and dear to people's hearts. And this week, I tweeted it out earlier in the week. I'd like to talk a little bit about online communities. The reason I started thinking about this specifically is because the online community in Destiny is one of the few that have been absolutely amazing. And we actually each have a little bit of a story, and then we're going to sort of compare it to some other ones. Matt, you have an interesting story that you should share.
Well, the first night, everyone that we started playing, everyone was way far ahead of me already. I was behind. So I was just in the tower on the first night of playing, and this guy just came up, started talking to me, got on chat when it was working, and not Destiny's chat broken. That would be chat in internet at my place. Started playing together and made it through all the Cosmodrome missions after added on friends list. And another little funny story about it is the other night I was actually playing Destiny Online with my girlfriend, and he joined us, and she got a little bit jealous. He kept waving and pointing and coming over and dancing. But she seemed a little bit jealous about it, and has been complaining about it, as Sam can attest to.
It's quite funny. I try not to
But
laugh,
no,
but it's too hard.
Usually in
There's
games
not very
like
many
that-
games that you can do that in. And we're going to continue going through stories and stuff, and I'm going to use direct game kind of references to do this. But Sam, you have a couple stories, I think, right?
Yeah, a lot of these are based off because Mike's a lot on Twitter. Matt's, making friends in the game apparently. I am just riding that Reddit subreddit train
There you go.
for Destiny the game.
Words.
I pretty much check that thing religiously, but a lot of the stuff that I'm going to say is based off that of what I found. Neat little story is this guy there's a farm, there's a place to farm in the game where you just farm this cave, right? And these two guys were farming there, and one of them just decided to, hey, what? I'm here to troll. He's the defender class. He's got his bubble up. So he waits for the guy to shoot his rocket, and as he's reloading it, he's seeing the guy sliding it up again. He pops his bubble right at the edge of where his barrel ends. The guy fires his rocket. He dies. What does the guy who popped the bubble do? Teabags him a couple times, then revives him at least. But it was quite funny to see. Just it's still, like, I'm sure that guy was a little probably frustrated, but also probably somewhat chuckling at what happened just because it was so random out of the blue. Like, he was not expecting this to happen. It just happened. And he was like,
Really
what the
funny
hell?
things like that happen all over the place in the community too. It's really funny. I've been on Twitter as well, and there's been a couple people who have joined our clan based on that. But the community itself is incredibly generous. I mean, you were saying on Reddit, and I'm not a big Reddit user, but on the subreddit for Destiny the game, it basically ends up, if somebody has a question or something, it's like within 3 minutes somebody answers them, and there's not that many games that are like that. I also, no matter how many groups I've got into, have not gotten into a game where somebody's swearing at their family or cursing at people or calling people hackers and stuff. It's generally a pretty pleasant community, and I know there's some out there, I'm sure, but I want to compare this to a couple of other communities, because there's some that most communities are not this good.
Atrocious. They're terrible.
So and obviously the first one that comes to any gamer's mind is the League of Legends community, which is awful. Like if you have no idea, they've had to implement things for banning players for being incredibly disruptive and rude to people who are just starting to play.
I will admit, though, have played both sides.
Yep.
Dota 2 is worse.
Okay.
Dota 2,
Same
they will
style
literally-
game, though.
Yes,
Same
but
style game.
They bash you as you come in. Like they see you're not as high level as
They
they are.
see
You
you're
don't have,
level 1
they're just
or,
like, what the hell are you doing here? Get the hell out of here. Go back to your mom. And I'm censoring a lot of this, by the way.
Yeah, I know how bad they get.
Where, as in League, only if you're not working as hard as the other teammates often, that's when they start getting things.
Right.
But I've been on both ends. I've been the one being screamed at. I've screamed at people frustrated because you see the potential in our team, and we're winning team fights left and right. We can do this, but there's just that one person who's not working as the team that's messing it all up. And
it sucks, but you got to understand
exactly.
that there's a huge learning curve to those games.
Exactly, they're not.
And
easy.
I understand that it's simplistic in its design. There's 3 lanes. You sort of support the support classes.
That's the thing. Certain characters
you
are
have to
better
master
against
the
other characters.
Yes, exactly. You have to master the characters. There's how many now? 14,500,000.
Yeah, something like that. There's enough characters.
There's a lot of them, right? So, and I wanted to compare it to that because that's sort of like the ultimate. I would think the worst community. Maybe I'm wrong, and I haven't been in all of them. And then you have sort of the middle of the road thing, which is the World of Warcraft community and stuff, which generally is pretty nice. But now that it's tailored to so many casual players, there's a lot of old veterans that get super whiny when they go into a raid finder and can't down a boss or something on the first try and instantly starts, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck. That person could be an 11-year-old kid playing their father's account, for God's sakes. Like, give it a rest.
I know you're saying that in your mind League is the worst, but the one that really comes to my mind that is the most atrocious in my eyes is always going to be the Call of Duty community.
Yeah.
They are a bunch of stuck-up little babies.
I would disagree a little bit, just because there was a guy that me and another friend of ours, Mike, who has also joined our clan on Destiny.
Yep.
We've actually made friends even outside of the Call of Duty game with a guy and his wife down in South Carolina. Yes, there is bad. I would put Call of Duty in the middle of the ground, though.
And let's give a
fair.
little bit of credit to them. They're all really upset that they've been playing a really bad game for about 5 years.
There are also mostly of them 12-year-olds, so I'll give them that.
Well, I don't know about that, but I know that there are a lot of gamers that only play that game. And there's the same thing with the League of Legends community and the Dota community.
Well,
there are people that literally they consider themselves gamers, but that is all they play.
Let's
literally that's it.
Just go back to the League community. So everybody knows the band Imagine Dragons.
Yes.
So they've been working on a new album. They actually wrote a song and partnered with Riot because League of Legends is their favorite game. So the song they have a whole music video and stuff like that. It's called Warriors. Actually a really good song, but like so they partnered with them to make the song for that, and it's going to be on their new album and stuff like that, which has no release date obviously, but
yeah,
I thought it was,
I don't know. The message from this though is like, why can't we all why is it that people that I use video games as an escape to sort of lose myself in the game, to have fun with friends and stuff like that. It really irritates me when people I get frustrated with a game, but I don't take it out on people.
No, well, exactly. Basically,
I take it out on myself.
The trailer, and it was the opening trailer for their 2014 championship, which started recently, and this was no one started a game, a championship season like this in this sense, but literally it's what it is this guy who was playing in his home, whatever, he's starting to get it and the song's picking up and all that, but then you see him sitting at a stage playing against another team at a competition, and they win, the other team doesn't win, this guy picks up his keyboard, smashes it, all really frustrated and stuff like that, but in the end it just comes down to, it's a game, we're here to play as friends,
right? Calm
the down, pardon my French.
It's all right. I just have to write numbers.
For my game rage, though, I would also take it out on me. Well, not keyboard, but my controllers there.
Right, but just
go through them quickly.
You just don't know who's on the other side of the microphone.
Exactly.
I know a ton of parents that have younger kids, and I deal with them at work and things like that, where is this game okay for my kid? Is this game okay? And I have to constantly tell them, yes, it is, but don't let them play online, because it's an awful community and people are cursing and swearing. And I don't know how many times I've been online and somebody's like yelling at their wife or something, which is unbelievably rude.
If you look at 90% of the games, actually no, 100% of the games that come out with online, the ESRB does not rate online. The ESRB board does not rate online
because they can't.
It's impossible.
It's human nature, I guess.
Exactly.
But there's a reason. People constantly complain about Nintendo games not having a lot of talking and stuff. You can't talk during the race or trash talk each other. The reality is
they don't want you to.
Well, but the reality is how bad would that be? You get hit by a blue shell right in front of the finish line, and you know who did it? Oh man, there's some people in this world who would never let that guy live it down. But it's
Matt,
I get frustrated too, but one of the reasons that this is a bad thing is because there are a ton of people, like there's 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds that are new gamers. They're going to be the ones who, drive the industry as far as buying games and stuff in the future. And half of them are being censored by their parents from online content and stuff because how are you able, you can't monitor it.
I basically know kids, and I've talked to them, they don't want any games that have online,
right?
Based off what they've seen their friends act like and stuff like that, and they've seen their friends change and all that stuff, and they're like, I don't want that. I just want to play the game, basically. So they don't get games that have online based off that.
So the message that you're sending to people when you do that too is not a good one. I mean, you can get frustrated with stuff, but mute your microphone or punch your knee or something, whatever you want to do.
Comes down to any time I play a game online, I either mute everybody or I'm in a chat so I can't hear them.
Right.
That's basically
anytime. So I had somebody tell me that Destiny, because when you're in the tower, there's no open chat or anything like that. That would ruin that game for me.
Anarchy.
Because in any MMO, which is, you have to compare Destiny to an MMO in a sense. Any MMO, the chat in World of Warcraft is my biggest experience for it. In the city is awful.
Oh, yeah.
It is people making fun of people or saying racial slurs. It is awful.
On Reddit, someone posted that this is the reason why they don't have one, but it was a chat box, right? And it was just a bunch of people glimmer farming, pay this much and get this character to 20.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
exactly.
Blah. It's just,
so that's another thing, too. There are people that take advantage of markets like that. Yep. And then people are buying gold instead of farming it themselves and stuff. Yep. It's unbelievable that we've come to a point now where video games, instead of being really fun, where we didn't have online, and then you add that online aspect to sort of broaden the game, and it also ruins a lot of games. So the message is, why can't we all just get along, people? Let's Mr. Rogers this and make everybody happy.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Make love, not war.
But it just it really, really drives me crazy when I see somebody calling somebody out. Obviously, I've tried to come to the rescue of people and tell people, listen, man, chill out. It's just a game. And then that just, obviously they're winning because they're trying to troll. But
certain games, I know that if I'm going to be playing in the man cave, I'm going to have to hang a punching bag.
Yeah.
Just to take 5 minutes and just punch the punching bag. There you go. Don't break the controller. Don't break the TV. Don't take the aggression out on people. You just
be funny if it was hanging right beside your chair and you just don't even have to get up.
Then
you have a glove set on a table beside you. You're just like, all right, guys, give me 2 seconds. You just hear the Velcro of the glove and you just a bunch of punches and then you're, all right, I'm back.
Whole new meaning to gaming nerd.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
There.
Your man cave consists of a very small TV, whatever console you're playing at the time, a punching bag hanging beside a lawn chair.
Sounds like
because you've broken everything you have nice in the house. That's the wrap up, basically. That topic is sort of a hot button for a lot of people because some people really don't care. I actually do care, so please try and be a little bit nicer to your friends. The Destiny community is doing it great, so please keep it up there. Or I'll do Twitter handles now if you guys want to follow us. I am at Chalicist on Twitter.
I'm at Birdman1983. Use Lagg Spike.
And I am at Sandwich55.
I also want to mention that Matt should change his Twitter handle so he doesn't have to explain how to spell it. However, if you're wondering, you can go to GamingLagg.com. We have our profiles up there a little bit and sort of a little bit of what we're about. We've been filming our Kickstarter today, so hopefully that campaign should be started soon. Also, if you want to write into the show, we're going to start doing this now that we have a decent amount of people listening. And when I say that, I mean more than one. Yes. You can write into the show, gaminglag@hotmail.com. Lag, by the way, has 2 G's, which is the same thing as our logo. Or you can follow us as a collective group at gaminglag, again with 2 G's. Sam bought a Nerf gun, and he wants to cock it because it makes an interesting noise and a really cool noise.
No, not anymore. You ruined it.
I did ruin it. You can do it at the very end. But thank you very much for listening. Please give us some feedback. We look forward to seeing you on the website. Yeah, and again, Destiny Clan, gaming space lag, again with 2 G's. Imagine that. You can join us if you want to. We're really just a bunch of guys that are really good friends, and we don't take it super seriously or anything, but we are working towards sort of building a community around this website. We'll keep you updated on our Twitter.
Just because I'm not good at using Twitter ever, you can also follow us on Facebook.com/gaminglag.
Is that with 2 G's?
It's with 2 G's.
It's with 2 G's. Hello. All right. We're going to leave you this week. Thank you very much for listening again. Yeah. Goodbye.